Welcome to the AHSAA Weekly, your inside look at everything happening with the Alabama High School Athletic Association, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. I'm John Holder. Coming up on this week's program, we will speak with Assistant Director for the Alabama High School Athletic Association, Devin Booth, as we talk about the state bowling championships upcoming. We'll also speak with the coach of the number 2 ranked team in Class 1A boys basketball, the Bell Green Bulldogs, Marty Cooper, and the new head coach of the Hoover Buccaneers in high school football, Wade Waldrop, will join us as well, and we'll have David Holtzford's highlights. All of that and more on this week's edition of the AHSAA Weekly, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs. At AmFirst, our app was made for you, so you can personalize your dashboard, pay your bills, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school, plus all those memories that are on the line too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
We are back on the AHSAA Weekly, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. Right now, we're going to take you to Montgomery. The Alabama High School Athletic Association Assistant Director Devin Booth joins us at this time. Devin, glad to have you with us once again here on the AHSAA Weekly.
Well, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
The last time we talked, you were making the transition. You had just been hired coming over from Opelika High School, where you won a few basketball games. I'm saying that tongue-in-cheek at Opelika with girls basketball, and transitioning, coming down I-85 to Montgomery and transitioning into your role on staff with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Tell us what it's been like over these first 6 months or so.
Well, I've been busy and it's been very exciting. Everyone on staff, Coach Briggs and Coach Vickers, have been wonderful leaders. And so, I'm learning a different side of things. I'm getting to be involved in other sports that, I've only spent a minimal amount of time with or around, and some that I've never been around. So it's really been good to see the other side of things and to be involved in other sports.
One of the things that you guys do down there, you have a number of assistant directors that kind of divvy up the sport, so to speak. So now we're in the winter months, so you're transitioning. One of those sports that is on the agenda right now, big things happening with bowling, which is a relatively new sport with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. We're right now in the midst of about to crown some state champions there. Tell us about what's happening over the next couple of weeks with AHSAA bowling.
You're correct. It's our 7th year since the reemergence of bowling from the late 70s. And so this week we start regional play Thursday and Friday. We start our regionals, and then we have our state meet next week, the 27th and 28th.
So we're going to be in the regionals this week. I think 2 sites for that, Spanish Fort and Tuscaloosa. And then the state championships will be in a new venue as well. I believe that's the new Alley over in Gadsden. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We'll be at the Alley in Gadsden for state championship meet.
We've already had some excitement in bowling this year. We had a young man just last week, I believe it was, from Hewitt-Trussville, who bowled a perfect 300 game. I know you've been around a lot of great athletic accomplishments in your time as a coach, but bowling 300 is unbelievable. And I think that speaks to what kind of great talent we have as far as bowlers here in the state of Alabama.
Right. Tristan Atwood, he set that record or he bowled a perfect game last week, which is so exciting. And that's one of the things that people have been, I've heard numerous people about how exciting bowling is. And so, that's one reason I'm excited about, being able to travel to these regional tournaments to see that, see that in action and see that live.
Devin, bowling is growing. You mentioned just a few years old since we kind of reinstituted the sport here as an official championship sport in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, but it's growing. More teams, more excitement. There's a lot of emphasis and a lot of quarters around the state of Alabama on bowling at the high school level.
Yes, it's definitely growing, and like I said, the excitement, surrounding it, I've heard since I've, been here at the Athletic Association. It's just going to continue to grow, and that's what we want it to be a great event for those bowlers in that growth.
Coach, I know when you are in the coaching side of things, it seems like the season goes by really fast a lot of times, especially when things are going well and you're winning. Have you found the same thing with Alabama High School Athletic Association? Do you feel like that the school year is kind of just going by in a blur, going by really fast?
Yeah, things have gone pretty fast. We're beginning to talk about our basketball state tournaments, and my first year since I was playing basketball that I haven't been involved with a team. So it kind of hit me the other day. We are getting close to the end of the season. It has gone pretty fast, especially not being there day to day.
You were ultra successful at Opelika. That included winning a lot of championships, a lot of basketball games, participating in certainly area tournaments and regionals, and even the state finals in Birmingham with your basketball team through the years. You got to miss that, I would think, a little bit at this time of year.
Well, I do, and one reason I'm excited about these bowling championships and being able to be a part of the basketball championship, just kind of seeing a different side of things, and, being able to just be around the excitement of teams and student athletes playing and being excited about winning championships or playing in championships.
Well, Coach, we are very excited to have you on board with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Very excited to have your expertise and knowledge from all the years of coaching, and we appreciate you spending time with us here on the AHSAA Weekly.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Devin Booth is Assistant Director of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, getting ready for the state bowling championships, the regionals this week, and then the state championships coming up next week. More of the AHSAA Weekly presented by America's First Federal Credit Union in just a moment.
Looking for a perfect checking account? Don't waste your time. No minimum balance, no monthly fees, and a convenient app. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
We are back on the AHSAA Weekly presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. Right now, we're going to journey to far northwest Alabama, to Franklin County, right on the Mississippi line, to the community of Bell Green. We're going to speak with the head boys basketball coach of the Bell Green Bulldogs out of Class 1A, Coach Marty Cooper. Coach Cooper, glad to have you with us this week on the AHSAA Weekly.
Oh, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Coach, your basketball team, great year last year. We'll talk about that in a moment. But more recently, you just won the Franklin County basketball tournament this past week, a big win over Red Bay. Tell us about winning the third consecutive county tournament title for Bell Green.
Well, we went in overtime. We won the game 51-45. Really a defensive struggle. Both teams, kind of a rivalry, of course, and both teams really got after it. I had to give Red Bay a lot of credit, but our kids found a way in the end to win the game, and that's all that mattered.
Coach, you spent 21 years coaching community college basketball in the state of Mississippi, then coming just over the line to Bell Green. Tell us about that transition the last couple of years between community college basketball in Mississippi and coaching small 1A basketball in Alabama.
It's been different, but it's been a lot of fun. Retired 3 years ago, went home and sat down in the backyard and enjoyed some nice weather in May and June. And then I got a phone call, and I'd been thinking this is really nice this summer having off, but I don't know what it's going to be like in November, December, and all that. So Mr. Hamilton, our superintendent, called, and just a great place, a great fit for me. I didn't have to move. It's only about 38 minutes from my house. I'm a football fan, but we don't have football. So as a basketball coach, this is a great place for me to be because the fans just love and get behind our team, and basketball is the king of Bell Green.
Coach Cooper, I'm familiar with the Bell Green program, been an observer for that for a lot of years, and you mentioned the fact there's no football there, so Bell Green basketball has always been very special in that community, and it has also been very tradition-rich. The basketball has been good through the years at Bell Green. Last year was no exception, going all the way to the state championship game in Class 1A. Tell us about that run from last year and now the carryover from last year to this season.
Yeah, really blessed. The superintendent told me I would like this job, and he was correct, because when I got here, our current seniors were sophomores, and they went 27-7, and they made it to the region, and they were not good enough to beat Decatur Heritage, but it made them very hungry. And so last year they came out, they had a purpose. They didn't want to just make it to the region. They wanted to win the region. We were able to beat a very good Pickens County team and made it to the state championship game and come up about 4 minutes short, 4 points and 4 minutes short. And we have a lot of those same kids back, and they want to, they're trying to fight to get back and maybe win one more game this year.
Coach, speaking of returnees that are coming back, tell us about the Bonners. You got a couple of brothers there that are fantastic players, great free throw shooters. That was evident in that Franklin County tournament championship game against Red Bay. Tell us about these two guys.
Especially on the 1A level, if I was still coaching community college, I'd probably recruit them. They're that good of player, and a lot of heart. They really know each other. Obviously, they played together all their life. They're twins. They know each other, so they really play off of each other. Great leaders for our team, and just a special energy level that kind of they both make every player around them better.
Coach, in the latest Alabama Sports Writers Association Prep Basketball Poll in Class 1A, your team, again, very highly ranked, deservedly so, ranked number 2, Otagoville number 1. So the two that ended it last year are sitting at the top this year. Seems like there might be a rematch coming down the line at some point in time. What would it take for Bell Green to get there again and possibly win a state championship?
Well, it's going to take a little bit of luck. We have some very good players, but we were blessed last year. Things just kind of fell our way, and we could be better this year, but it might not work out the same. We've got a really tough region. Covenant Christian's got a really good ball team. We've beat them 2 out of 3 this year. It's been really hard-fought games, and if we end up facing them in the region, it's going to be a battle to be able to get back to Birmingham.
Coach, we appreciate the time so much, right in the middle of a very busy basketball season. Best wishes to you and your basketball team. First, congratulations on winning that Franklin County tournament, and best of wishes the rest of the way as we make our way through this 2022 basketball season.
I appreciate you having me on, and appreciate everything that the association does for the state.
Marty Cooper is the head basketball coach of the Bell Green Bulldogs, the number 2 ranked team in Class 1A and the Franklin County tournament champions for the 3rd year in a row.
Every bank has their own app, but it's just that, theirs. At AmFirst, our app was made for you, so you can personalize your dashboard, pay your bills, and redeem points for rewards you'll love. Get the app made for you at AmFirst.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school, plus all those memories that are on the line too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
We are back on the AHSAA Weekly presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. In the world of high school football in the state of Alabama, some major news this week, and that is a new head football coach at Hoover High School, and that new head football coach is Wade Waldrop. He joins us at this time. Coach Waldrop, congratulations on the job at Hoover. Welcome in. Glad to have you with us on the AHSAA Weekly.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. We are very excited. My family and I are just ecstatic to become a part of the Hoover family.
Well, you know, Hoover's one of the top coaching jobs, not only in Alabama, but one of the top high school football coaching jobs in America. This is to be honest with you, a program that could hire about anybody they wanted. They turned the reins over to you. I know that's got to be very special to you to be taking over a program with the rich tradition that Hoover has.
It is. It certainly is. This is my 21st year of coaching, and have done it at various levels across the state, and most recently been competing in Region 4 and Class 7A, kind of across the way from Region 3. And just to be in this region and be a part, and to be chosen and tapped to come in and lead this program, it's a huge honor. I am humbled by it, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity.
You were successful at Chelsea and Shelby County, at James Clemens up at Madison, as you pointed out this year at Florence High School in Northwest Alabama. So you've kind of been all around Hoover. You've competed with them head to head many times in the years at James Clemens, and then of course in Region 4 in Florence there. Just your perspective now, I guess, of being on the other side of it now, being in Region 3 and being at Hoover.
Yeah, this is a different and unique challenge for me. The programs I've been in, I would say have been more of in building mode and growing mode. If you go back to our time at Chelsea as we were transitioning from Class 5A to Class 6A, and then the building of James Clemens from basically ground up to where that program is now. And then even going to Florence a year ago, which, was we felt like we were called to go and leave. A really good thing that we had in Madison to go build and try to establish a culture there and build a program that could compete with the teams in Region 3. But to be back in this region and compete every week at the highest level at a place like Hoover where the commitment level is extremely high, the standards are extremely high. I say it's unique and it's different because there are so many things in place, and it's such a great program. Coach Niblett, Coach Probst, Coach Finley, the men before in the community have just, truly built something special there.
Coach Waldrop, tough question for you here. Of all the great things that are attractive about being the head football coach at Hoover, if you had to narrow it down to one, maybe two, we'll let you off the hook here, maybe two. What are the top things that really you found most attractive about being the head football coach at Hoover?
Commitment to excellence, and then just the passion that's in that community. It is what I think every player would want to be a part of, every coach, every fan, anybody that's affiliated with the community, to be a part of a program that just cares so much and puts so much into being successful. To be a part of that it's exciting. It's just really exciting.
Coach, I know you're the kind of guy that hits the ground running, and that's, I'm sure, happening this week at Hoover. Take us through the next couple of months here. You got to move your family from Florence down to Metro Birmingham, and you got to get the program going. You got weight training, you got spring training coming up just around the corner. Kind of talk us through what's going to happen over these next couple of months.
Yeah, the main thing is starting to build relationships with the people there in town, starting with players and families. Started that process last Friday, met all the players at the high school level and at the middle school levels. Went to both middle schools, meeting coaches, administration. We'll spend the next couple of weeks. I officially start February 1st, but we'll have boots on the ground 3 days a week, this week and next week. Meeting with coaches individually. Met as a staff last Friday. Now in the process of starting to meet individually with coaches and get goals from them, career goals, program goals, and just finding the right pieces and making sure the pieces that we currently have fit to what we're trying to do. We will assemble a plan for what the next few months will look like with regards to strength and conditioning and skill development. Leading up to spring practice and then, of course, going into summer practice and then into fall camp.
Well, the folks north of the Tennessee River, they know this, and the folks in Chelsea know this. They know what a Wade Waldrop football team is going to look like, what the characteristics or trademarks are. What do you think, if you're talking to the Hoover folks and folks around the state, what can they expect from a Wade Waldrop Hoover Buck football team? Yeah,
it's been an evolution, over the years as a coach. Each year, I was just talking to someone a few minutes ago, each year you grow and you hopefully get better at what you're doing. But we're going to be physical. We're going to be a physical football team. We want to control the line of scrimmage on both sides, and we want to be disciplined. And, we want our fans and the other team's fans, when they walk off, to say, we don't want to play that team again. That's a team we don't want to play. We want our effort to be great and our passion to be great every Friday night.
Coach, thank you so much. Again, congratulations. Just welcome to Hoover. Another great program, a great coach coming to this program. Looking forward to watching Hoover Buck football with you at the helm. Thank you for joining us here on the AHSAA Weekly.
Thank you guys for having me. We appreciate it.
Wade Waldrop, head coach of the Hoover Buccaneers on the AHSAA Weekly.
Looking for a perfect checking account? Don't waste your time. No minimum balance, no monthly fees, and a convenient app. Now you could try and find that at a bank, or you could save yourself the trouble by checking with us.
And closing out this week's edition of the AHSAA Weekly, presented by America's First Federal Credit Union, and it is David Holzford's highlights time. David Holzford of the AHSAA putting together video clips from sports all across the state of Alabama from the past week. And we are going to begin with indoor track and field, a new state record set in the pole vault. And this is going to be Maddox Ham of Scottsboro High School, 17 feet 4 inches, breaking an all-time state record in the pole vault in the state indoor meet. This was going on in Birmingham, I believe, at the Sportsplex. And we had a national record set, an all-time national record, 18 three-pointers. This is Deschler High School in girls basketball playing Oak Mountain at Wallace Hansville Community College in Hansville on Monday. Chloe Siegel, a junior, hitting 18 three-pointers, all 54 of her points coming from three-point land. It is an all-time national record. Deschler, the #1 ranked team in the state in Class 4A, knocking off Class 7A Oak Mountain out of Birmingham by 63 points, 83-20. 54 of those 83 points from Chloe Siegel as she scored 18 three-pointers from just about everywhere on the court. Here comes number 18 right there from Chloe Siegel, an all-time national record in girls basketball. This week, we continue the highlights with Buckhorn and Arab. Buckhorn sharpshooter Jeremiah Wilson hit a three-pointer to end the third quarter. The Bucks would go on to win this one 50-46. Trent Barnes led the Bucks with 17 points in the win over the Arab Knights in Class 6A basketball. Now we go to Huntsville and Sparkman. This was a great battle. The same Panthers team that made the AHSAA highlight reel last week with a game-winning shot over Grissom. Huntsville found itself in another barn burner last weekend against Sparkman. The Senators stormed back on a 16-0 run in the final 6 minutes of play to tie the game and send it into overtime. Landon Jacobs was a big reason for the comeback, scoring 12 points and grabbing 4 rebounds. In the overtime period, however, Huntsville would prove too strong with Jamari Arnold leading the Panthers, who are now 16-9, to a 59-58 victory. He had 21 points and 7 rebounds in the win for Huntsville over Sparkman, and a great game being played there in Madison County. between the Senators of Sparkman High School and the Huntsville High School Crimson Panthers. Another great basketball game being played up in the Magic City. Moving down to Mobile, we check in at Alma Bryant and Davidson in a 7A Region 1 girls basketball battle. Senior Kelsey Thompson led the Warriors, who are now 20-1 with a monster effort. 41 points, 20 rebounds, 7 assists as Davidson cruised to an 86-44 win. Iana Johnson added 16 points and 16 rebounds, and the Hurricanes were led by Marie Grayson's 21 points in that game as Davidson beat Alma Bryant. Now we've got some more great basketball action back to the north. Fairfield traveling to Winona. North All-Star Game MVP from the summer, Shania Nunn from Fairfield, 8 straight double-doubles, scoring 25 points and 11 rebounds. Her streak is currently at 9 following a win against John Carroll. Here, stepping back, she had a deep three-pointer, drives to the basket. Fairfield wins this one 60-40 and improves to 15-5 overall with that win over Winona. We continue with girls basketball play. Pelham's Lacey Gogan coming off an impressive 46-point night against Chilton County, leading the Panthers to a 60-21 win over Helena with 17 points and 4 steals. Teammate Jaslyn Heflin added 17 points, 5 steals, and 5 rebounds. And now we take a look at McAdory and Hueytown. That's up next. McAdory rolled into its Class 6A area game at Hueytown last week, riding a 23-game area winning streak over the last 5 years, going back to 2018. Tamaria Taylor led the Lady Jackets with 16 points. KK Hoyt and Nia Bibbs each had 10 points. It was Hoyt's deep three-pointer with 2 seconds left in the game that gave McAdory a 45-44 win and kept the streak alive at 24 straight area wins as McAdory was a winner over Hueytown. Back to boys action. 7th-ranked Hoover, now 18-6, facing Tuscaloosa County in a 7A Region 5 contest. They came away with a 59-45 win over the Wildcats. Salim London scored 16 points, had 6 rebounds, 6 assists for the Bucks. Dwayne Brown chipped in 15 points and 8 rebounds. And we close the action. We're going to see a throwdown slam dunk coming from Hoover's Broden Grady at the end of the game here, as Hoover was a winner over Tuscaloosa County by 14 points, 59-45. Hoover, the 7th-ranked team in the state in Class 7A, improving to 18-6 on the year with that win over the Wildcats, 59-45 last week. Salim London, Dwayne Brown, and, of course, Broden Grady. Now we go to close out this week's highlights with this NFHS Network clip from defending Class 7A state champion Oak Mountain playing Thompson in another Area 5 clash. Wilder Evers led the scoring with 13 points. Also, Brady Dunn chipped in 9 points for the Eagles, and Ryan Gurgel scored 8 as Oak Mountain squeaked out a 43-41 win, and that improved their record to 19-3 on the year. Another fantastic season for the Oak Mountain Eagles as they take out Thompson in Class 7A area play. And that's David Holzford's highlights. Our thanks to the NFHS Network partners and also David Holzford for putting together those highlights each week. And that's going to do it for the AHSAA Weekly. We'll see you back here next week.